September 11th, 2024. That date might not sound important at first, but in hindsight, it feels like a timestamp on a prophecy. Because on that day, Kendrick Lamar said something that didn't just age well, it aged perfectly. He looked straight into the culture and calmly said, "It's time to watch the party die." At the moment, most of us nodded along. We thought we understood it. We felt like we understood it. But let me be honest with you, I didn't. Not even close. I didn't understand how deep that statement was. I didn't understand how fast it would come true. And I definitely didn't understand how many careers would quietly get caught in the fallout. Because now, standing here today, watching the numbers, watching the reactions, watching the panic set in, it's impossible to ignore it anymore. The party Kendrick was talking about is not metaphorical anymore. It's measurable, and the latest proof just landed. So stay with me, because what we're about to break down isn't just about one album. It's about a shift, a collapse, and a warning the culture ignored until it was too loud to deny. Before we go further, support me by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. It helps a lot. Let's start with the headline. 21 Savage just dropped a new album. No long rollout, no massive media tour, no drawn-out hype cycle, just a sudden announcement and then silence. The album, titled What Happened to the Streets, arrived with expectations, not insane expectations, but solid ones. This is 21 Savage, a name that's supposed to guarantee numbers, and yet something fell off immediately. The conversation around the release wasn't excitement. It wasn't urgency. It wasn't even debate. It was confusion, and then the projections dropped. First week sales estimates landed at around 53,000 units. Let's rewind just a bit. 21 Savage's previous album did 133,000 first week. That's not a small drop. That's not a slow week. That's not market conditions. That's a collapse. And when you zoom out, the pattern gets even louder. Young Thug's recent numbers? Down. Ghana's momentum? Cooling. Other artists from that same lane? Same story. Different albums. Different moments. Same result. And suddenly, Kendrick's words don't feel poetic anymore. They feel diagnostic. Because when you put all of this together, it starts to look like one side of rap. Not all of hip-hop, but a specific ecosystem is losing oxygen. And that raises the uncomfortable question nobody wants to ask. What if the party really is ending? Now, before anyone gets defensive, let me be clear. I don't like dividing hip-hop into this side and that side. I hate that framing. But the culture already did it, whether we admit it or not. There's a visible split happening between music driven by passion and music driven by positioning. And here's the irony. On Kendrick's Not Like Us, his final verse wasn't even dissing Atlanta rappers. He was acknowledging them, bigging them up. Yet somehow, some people still took offense, which tells you everything you need to know. Because when someone speaks truth, insecurity hears it as an attack. Whenever numbers look bad, the excuses show up fast. And right on cue, the defense tour began. We heard, streams are just down overall. The rollout was too short. The album was too concise. He didn't play the streaming game. Now, look, those explanations sound logical on the surface. But listen closely. When you stack them together, they start sounding less like analysis and more like panic. Because the same industry told artists for years, drop fast, flood the market, short attention spans, algorithm first. Now suddenly, when it doesn't work anymore, the narrative flips. That's not strategy. That's scrambling. Let's talk about the streaming argument for a second. More songs technically equal more potential streams. That's basic math. But here's the part nobody wants to confront. If people don't care, it doesn't matter how many songs you upload. You can have 30 tracks. You can have playlists, bundles, deluxe editions. If the audience doesn't feel anything, they won't stay. And that's the real issue. Because attention today isn't earned through volume. It's earned through impact. Now let me give you the moment that completely shattered the excuses. Pooh Shiesty. No gimmicks. No drama. No industry chess moves. Just raw rapping. One record. First day out. Minimal promotion. No viral rollout. And yet, it exploded. So much so that it disrupted seasonal streaming dominance. Something almost unheard of. Why? Because it sounded like hunger. It sounded like urgency. It sounded like someone who needed a rap. No algorithms. No safety nets. Just conviction. And this is where things get uncomfortable. There's a shift happening in hip-hop right now. Not stylistically, spiritually. A lot of artists fell in love with success, not the craft. They learned how to win, but forgot why they were playing. Features became mandatory. Collabs became shields. Momentum replaced meaning. And when that momentum slowed, there was nothing underneath it. That's why you're seeing artists suddenly push unity narratives, group chats, alliances, and super friend energy. Not out of love, but necessity. Now don't get me wrong, unity is beautiful. Seeing artists try to mend fences and bring cities together, that's respectable. But timing matters. When unity only shows up after numbers dip, it stops looking organic. It starts looking like survival. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you truly had passion, you wouldn't need the safety net. This is the part Kendrick saw coming. The era where your name alone could carry mediocre music? That's done. The era where notifications replace connection? That's done. Hip-hop audiences are listening again. And that's terrifying for artists who stop speaking. Because now, you actually have to say something. You have to feel something. You have to mean something. And if you don't, the silence will expose you. When Kendrick said the party, he wasn't talking about fun music. He wasn't attacking vibes. He wasn't demanding everyone become introspective poets. He was talking about emptiness. Music made for numbers. Careers built on momentum. Success without substance. That party had to end, because cultures don't survive on autopilot. So here we are, albums dropping quietly, excuses getting louder, passion becoming the deciding factor again. Kendrick wasn't predicting failure. He was predicting accountability. And now it's here. The question isn't whether the party is dying. The question is, who's prepared to survive after it's over? If you're an artist, this is the moment to lock in. If you're a fan, this is the moment to listen closer. Thanks for watching. Remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel.